So interestingly, in Dubai, you have option either to save good amount of money or even in a day you can spend your complete salary. I would say one line for my portfolio would be blessing in disguise. Whatever I consume, whatever products I buy, I try to convert that into stocks also.
I never had any pedigree, so I had to start from the scratch. Achieving financial independence was a big dream for me. I turned 38 this year. Fortunately, I achieved 2.5 CR.
Dubai is little more secured because they are doing a forgery with respect to money. Is a very big offense. You might end up going to jail. Recently, when I bought a property, I have only a single paper in my hand, not even printed. It's a soft copy, and it's based on blockchain technology. So there is no way someone can come and make a duplicate document of it. It's completely secured. If you talk about the appreciation, India is always on the top. You talk about equity, you talk about even real estate. The appreciation of real estate in terms of the value is also better in India. There, the appreciation doesn't happen much, but you have a rental income which is very strong. I guess you might be heard of something called FIRE, Financial Independence Retire Early. How much time it took for you to, manage everything and to become financially independent?
I think from 2013 onwards, I was looking at, a lot of investors like Warren Buffett to Bill Gates and in India, Rakesh Jujunwala. Looking at them, I used to think, they have become financially free and, what is the path for middle class or lower middle class people, how to find this? And fortunately, I never had any pedigree. So I had to start from the scratch, from taking loans of almost cumulatively 35 lakhs, marriage loan, bike loan. You tell any damn thing, it was on loan, credit cards and everything. Even today, I can go and see my CIBIL, right? I had almost 10 credit cards on my name. And from that period, achieving financial independence was a big dream for me. I turned 38 this year. And fortunately, I achieved 2.5 CR, not the market rates of my real estate and everything, just the investments which I made. So from the last 4 years, I think I have drastically started investing more and more. And also fortunately had good contract jobs in between and also lump sum bonuses, so which helped me to really invest in instruments and assets which could really take care of me.
So coming to financial freedom, it accidentally came to me. I didn't knew that I'm already running on the same path. So my accidental financial investment starts in year 2008. I was 21-year-old. And then in year 2017, I started reducing my debts and I started towards proper financial investment. Year 2021, I believe, I was 35-year-old where I achieved my financial freedom. That too accidentally when I started calculating and seeing what's my portfolio value, total portfolio value. And now at the age of 37, I'm sitting on close to 6 AR, excluding my real estate, which is a risky part. So I don't include that part into my corpus. So this way I could say in 37, I achieved my financial freedom. And now what I'm pursuing at the moment is my passion and hope to open a small cafe in order to, survive for life. So what do you think this FIRE or financial freedom is achievable in a best option in India or abroad like Dubai?
I think it depends on the situation. What is your lifestyle? Are you on a regular job? You have any assets backed up, or do you have any liabilities? That if they have right skills, right opportunities, obviously, they could explore overseas market, and Dubai is one of the good places to work. And again, if some people like to be with their family and close friends, and they want to because they want to be close to their aging parents, obviously India is another choice for them. So I think both have equal weightages. Again, depends upon our individual choices.
Okay, I have a different opinion on that. So I would say, see, we all were running in initial phase of career for a US, Canada, UK, Australia, and so on. But I realized when I've been to Dubai, it's a mini India.
Right.
Salaries are better than India. Like you can, whatever your current salary is, if you're in IT, I would say, or banking or these domains, you can multiply by 3 or 4. And if you're smart enough to act frugal, by saving only taxes, by saving some good amount of money, financial freedom achievement is way too easy.
Right.
So if a decent amount would be taken like 10 years in India to become a financially free, acting frugal with your Indian salary, it would be only 3 to 4 years. You'll be financially free in Dubai. Only compromise is you're not in India and you are just 3.5 hours native state in India. Other than that, everything is sorted. You can take your parents even grandparents. If you want, even grandparents can also join you. But there is no power you can take your grandparents to US or UK, right? But here you can take your grandparents. Things are sorted.
Okay.
You can still save the money. And then coming back to India is a cherry on the cake, because achieving financial freedom in Dubai would be little different because expenses are more. But earning there, saving it,
Correct.
investing, coming back to India, in 5 years you are sorted. So I would say that it's a good option if someone is getting a place benefit. He can always come to Dubai and act frugal and get a financial freedom.
And I think this is more about how much currently we are able to save.
So interestingly, in Dubai, you have an option either to save good amount of money, or even in a day you can spend your complete salary. So I'm on the other part. So I try to save as much as possible. So I'm little frugal in that.
Okay.
I would say around maximum 30% of my salary I'm able to spend as well as invest, because I bought a house there. So now my rent has been converted into my EMI. And if I'll compare rent I was giving for a house, about 9 to 10% was going for a house. But as I bought a house, so now the EMI is only 5% of that. So automatically 5% is being saved. And what 5% I'm giving is EMI. It means again it's my investment. So good 10% is again saved from the salary as complete yearly salary. So I'm left with again 20% of my salary is going in expenses.
Wonderful. So I think fortunately I stay in my own house and I've rented I have two properties. So that way I don't have any rental expenses. Probably the expenses would be more on, school fees, monthly maintenance and groceries. So probably I would say around 50 to 60K would be max expenses for me. Almost I would say almost 70% to 60% is my savings on overall what I make today. What are the difference in the cost of living? If you want to go detail about your rent, utilities, bills, kids' education, healthcare, you want to add in some of these elements.
Sure. So with respect to the biggest expense is the rent, you can say that for a 2 BHK apartment, the current rent would be around 1.5 lakh per month. Education is a bit on the higher side, I would say. For a schooling of a kid, you might need to pay around 4 to 5 lakhs per year. If you are lucky enough, you can get your kids' education being sponsored by the organization. They pay around 25,000 bucks. This is the average. If you want to go to a decent, which is a CBSE, will cost you around 2 lakhs per year. If you're going for a British curriculum, it would be around 5 lakhs, and companies paying for it. So your good amount of money has been saved in terms of education. Utilities, the most costlier part is the telecommunication part. So you end up paying good 10,000 for your home internet. Other than that, if you talk about groceries, so you'll get cheaper groceries. If you buy in bulk, it is cheaper than India. So you can say a family of 3 or 4, if they want, the kids are going to the school, so they have to spend around 3 lakhs per month, but the salaries are higher. But if you want to manage, you can manage in 2 lakhs also per month. How about you?
I think rent is, as I said, rent is gone. So I don't pay rent because it's my own house. I have rented out other house actually. So that way limited. So I think the maintenance and all is very small proportion of 2,000 or 3,000 rupees. But like utilities and bills, I would say cumulatively comes up to 1,000 to max 2,000 rupees per month, which includes everything, your DTH to everything. In terms of kids' education, I believed in sending my kid to school where even a Swiggy or Zomato person can send school. I mean, the quality should be good, obviously. So I sent my kid to a school which even Sundar Pichai studied himself. And still the fees are like, in a year, it's cost me only 75,000 rupees per year. And in terms of the other costs, right, I think groceries goes max 15 to 20,000, including all these expenses. You could add up school education and extracurricular activities, 10,000 per month, and other internet and travel, everything. I think cumulatively, all this, if you look at it, on an average, it is around 60,000. If you want to have a decent moderate for 4 of them, I think I would say average is 1 lakh if you have 2 kids sending to a normal school.
So let's talk about the portfolio. How do you manage your portfolio? What is your investment and where is it invested?
I think the portfolio building started in 2013 onwards. Given I come from a conservative family, I think my portfolio started investing first on a real estate, buying a plot. I spent almost 25 lakhs at that time in the end of 2018. Now that property stands at almost close to 50, 60 lakhs. And in parallel, I started doing investing small lump sum amounts in mutual funds and in stocks. When you work in corporates, you get lump sum bonuses. And I started moving that bonus into investing into mutual funds and other things. In 2019 end, it became almost, I think around 40 lakhs it became. And in 2020, there was a deal which happened again in Chennai. So that property was actually, market value was worth 70, 80 lakhs. They sold it to me for 55 lakhs. And that way, from 21 onwards, I started investing heavily on corporate fixed deposits, debentures, and bonds. Around 40 lakhs is in mutual funds. Next comes the fixed deposits, corporate fixed deposits. I have invested almost 50 lakhs in that. And remaining 10, 20 lakhs, I have diversified into Digi Gold and some NCDs. So that way, my overall portfolio, which is including real estate and these investments, it's around 2.5 crores.
Interesting.
How about your portfolio? How has been in your investments?
I would say one line for my portfolio would be blessing in disguise. So 17, I started my investing in stocks and other stuff. I studied for a good 3 years, and 2020 happened. Before that, my portfolio was only 10 lakhs.
Okay.
But during this corona phase, I believe 60, 70 lakh I would have invested. And when this 2022, in US, if you remember, there was a crash for the IT companies after this Ukraine war started in February. I remember Facebook was down by good 70%. At that moment, I jumped onto the US markets. I started investing only in IT companies because I understand IT.
Okay.
And obviously, index is my cup of tea. So I started in NASDAQ and S&P 500. I would say in equity, at the moment, Indian equity would be good around 2.5 to 3 CR. And then in US market, it would be around 1.5 CR with a good profit of around 200% in all the components. At the same time, I do care of my debts. So I invest in NCDs, non-closure debentures, then peer-to-peer lending, invoice funding, fixed deposits. In UAE, there is an opportunity to, invest into fixed deposits or bonds with an interest rate of 5%.
Okay.
So 5% in UAE means it's a dollar basically.
Right.
And if you calculate about India, which is 6% inflation or a currency fluctuation is 6%. So total comes around 11% on my fixed deposits.
Correct.
That too, there is no taxes. So that is a good instrument where I invest. And recently, last year, I bought a property in Dubai. When I got it, it was around 1.9 CR, and now it has been increased to around 3 CR. So debt instrument would be around 2 CR, which I've kept for the rainy days. Let's see when it will happen. Do you think there are risks involved in investing in India as compared to other developed countries which we can compare with?
Generally, yes and no, because it depends upon the asset class. For example, let's say in Chennai, quite twice the floods happened. So obviously it impacts your real estate properties. So depends on whether you were the buyer at the time or you were a seller. So depending upon that, I think there is a risk involved in every asset, and depends to what extent an individual prefers to have it, right? So that way, I think markets, again, obviously it's doing good now. We don't know the future. Given I'm a conservative investor, I believe in index funds, obviously. And I don't want to lose my hard-earned money because of some risk issues here and there. So I'm trying to play safe and a bit conservative because I'm also catching age with my gray hairs. So that way I want to be simple and easygoing in terms of the risk appetite.
I feel there are some instruments in India which I'm not comfortable with, like peer-to-peer lending. So it's been secured, I understand, but there is a point of risk as compared to, Dubai. Dubai is little more secured because they are doing a forgery with respect to money is a very big offense, punishable offense. So you might end up going to jail if you are, not able to repay your debts and also timely. So peer-to-peer lending is quite secured in Dubai. With respect to real estate, I feel yes, there is a risk in India, as I already personally faced that problem, that a builder just went off, he was bankrupt, and then from last 10 years I've been fighting, but not all the properties.
Correct.
But if I'll compare with Dubai, Dubai also has a similar kind of developers who would have done a default, but I don't know in my interactions. But if we talk about good brands like MR, Demark and all, they offer a very good house and a good competitive price. The appreciation, the ROI is better. Recently, when I bought a property, so I have only a single paper in my hand. It's not even printed. It's a soft copy, which just says the title deed, my name. It's on loan, and it's based on blockchain technology. So there is no way someone can come and make a duplicate document of it. Yeah. It's completely secured, and you don't have to even come to UAE to buy a property. You can always do it even if you have friends out there. They can go to the authority. You can do it online. So things are quite secured with respect to real estate, I would say.
Right.
But yes, if you talk about the appreciation, India is always on the top. So you talk about equity, you talk about even real estate. The appreciation of real estate in terms of the value is also better in India. There, the appreciation doesn't happen much, but you have a rental income which is very strong. On top of that, if you are, it's a rented property, you don't have to pay a tax. So whatever rent comes directly comes to your pocket. Other advantage I would say in Dubai would be the value of dirham. So my friend got an apartment, cost was 1 million in 2010, which means it was 1 CR. That time the rate was 10 rupees. So he invested 1 crore rupees for an apartment. In 2021, he sold it for 900k, which means 9 lakh dirhams. At that moment, the price was 23 or 22 something. After selling the apartment, he got 2 crore rupees as a refund. ROI was around 100%, no taxes. On top of that, for these complete 11 years, he was earning good 7 to 8 or 9%, which is again around 2 to 3 CR. So 1 CR is been converted into 4 to 5 CR without tax. So that appreciation of the dirham is also an advantage when you buy a property in that country.
Makes sense.
Do you invest in individual stocks also?
So my exposure was higher when I was in 2012, 2009, and then 2012 and 2018. That those were the situations where market crashed, and 2009 was a prime crisis which impacted US. Then cumulatively it also impacted Indian markets. And then in 2018 or 19, I think the demonetization happened, 18 somewhere, where I felt that might be that was the situation where I felt I should invest. So I'm waiting for the right situations. I'm not timing the market, but if the real opportunity strikes, then obviously I would really harp on it and invest on those. Good. How about yourself on stock markets?
So I invest in two options in equity: index funds and individual stocks.
Okay.
Whatever I consume on my daily basis, whatever products I buy, I try to convert that into stocks also. So recently I bought a car, the same company, the same number of amount. So whenever I want to buy a liability, I ensure that the same amount has been spent or been spent in the same company, so that after a few years when the car will be for zero value, at least the amount which I've invested at that moment would be appreciated. A bigger advantage in by staying in Dubai is like a double tax treaty. If you are buying a mutual fund or a stock, in mutual fund you don't have to pay any taxes because Dubai has zero taxation, and India and Dubai has UAE has a treaty that whatever tax you are paying in Dubai, it will be the same taxation, don't have to pay in India. So if I buy a mutual fund and I sell it, there will be zero taxation. But whereas similar things I bought it for stocks, if I'll sell it, I need to bear a small LTCG and taxes and all. But for mutual fund, there's an advantage that you can save on your taxes. So this is the advantage of Dubai. How about gold? Do you invest in gold?
Yeah, gold, I think obviously for conservative reasons, either, if you look back many decades, right, people invest in land or in gold. So during the marriage, obviously physical gold was there. I felt managing physical gold, the kind of charges you pay for making charges and the quality of the gold, so it's quite become subjective and challenging. So I felt, what is the other alternative? Anyway, you have SGBs these days, and you have gold ETFs and gold Bs. So I felt, look at all the alternatives. And I felt DG gold for me worked well. So I do believe, because end of the day, if you look at the currencies worldwide, right, they print basis the gold, hedging the gold, right? So obviously when markets are down, people go for gold.
True.
So I think gold investment also holds valuable. How about yourself?
Initially when I was in India, again, the thought process was same. But after visiting Dubai, I realized that getting a physical gold is also a good option. There are a few reasons about that. And we have seen in my grandparents came from other part of India, which is Pakistan now. So my grandparents were located in Multan.
Okay.
So when they came to this part of India, which is Delhi at the moment, they had nothing. All the property, everything was seized, right? So they came with the gold, a glass full of gold. So this is what, helped them. Same thing happened to Ukraine, right? So the war happened. So what has been left now? Only the guys who were having investment in anything, NCDs, government bonds, and it's all gone bonkers. What is left is silver or gold. So So this is what I also have a belief system, that if you are in a different country, even in India, if you are able to buy a physical gold, it will give you a little more confidence. And also it's a little bit cheaper in Dubai to buy a gold. But obviously that cheaper option would be in India only when you bring it to India, and which is illegal, you cannot bring. But you can bring, some 10 grams of chain. When if you're a male, a female can bring a 20 gram of chain to India legally.
Right.
But that will happen
When
little,
you're
so
returning.
doesn't apply. But yes, there's an option that you don't have to pay taxes. You can get it on the dollar rate,
Correct.
whatever the rates are there. Even cheaper than that, you can buy gold, and whenever you want, you can sell it. There's no cutting in that. So that's a good option to get yourself protected from
Agreed.
political things happens in the region, so you can protect yourself.
Great.
Thank you so much, Raman.
Good. Wonderful. Thanks,
For your
Lalit,
time.
for your
Thank you.
time.